afternoon, V. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you. So thank you for coming into today's informative sessions. So due to you being a senior data officer, we've established that we'll need to do some personal development over 2 days for you. I'll give you a rundown of the sessions. So the first session will be on effective communication, so how you can sort of reinforce that into your workplace, whether it's dealing with students on the phone, face-to-face, through email, so different aspects that you'll cover throughout your job. So we'll go through this here. Feel free during the sessions to take notes as well, and then anything that's useful as well you can use in your workplace. And if you even want copies of this, I can give you copies as well. So the first session will be on this today. The second session we'll try and do later on this week. So that will be more based on a work-life balance timetable. So that will be putting in even different perspectives from here into your table. So Monday to Sunday, and pretty much listing out what activities, for example, when you'll work, when you'll exercise, when you'll have your appointments, your social sort of stuff, and everything as well. So we'll do that over the 2 days. But yeah, any sort of questions in the meantime at all?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, all good, perfect. All right, so 20 effective communication strategies in the workplace. So first of all, what is effective communication? So it's pretty much taking your team, talking to your team in a good and effective way, and not pretty much screaming in their faces in a bad way. So that's pretty much a simplified version of it. Much of effective communication actually doesn't come from our mouths. It's more from the meaning of how we deliver it with our body language, and our tone of our voice as well. So that's been proved through sort of clinical research and study that not all effective communication, we don't need to talk for it, we can sort of go through it in other ways as well. Perfect. So how does it sort of look? So effective communication is a communication between 2 or more people, where there's an intended message is successfully delivered, received and understood. So this can be done in group settings, in one-on-one settings as well, over the phone, through email, so lots of different ways you can do effective communication with everyone as well. In a business sense, communication can really either make you or break you, so it's very vital we get the communication phase pretty good as well. So why does it matter? Like I was saying before, it can pretty much make or break you as well. It's good to be an effective communicator, to be role models as well within other, to show other people in your workplace effective communication, what it looks like and how it is as well. In terms of listening as well, listening is quite important to address any concerns that you might have. With this, pretty much this is a main key as well of effective communication. With sort of not being able to listen, you won't get the message of what's trying to be persuaded as well. So listening, it's an important communication strategy that doesn't involve talking. So going all guns blazers without sort of paying any attention during the conversation, you're not going to absorb what that person's saying, and then you won't know what's going on as well. Perfect. You can see my lovely pictures here as well that I've added in. So creating a receptive atmosphere. So that pretty much is similar to listening, but effective communication relies upon the creation of a receptive space. So pretty much creating a good environment where you're going to get people together, a nice, happy environment. You don't want that negative vibe or negative tone to be around as well. And at work, you always want people, most importantly, to feel at ease and relaxed. So a lot of us these days, it's all about high pressure and trying to get deadlines. I know that's involved in your job as well. But yeah, sometimes we need to even if it's taking a break from things for a while, just to start rethinking and refocusing.
Refresh,
That's right, to try get back on track. It shouldn't be all go, go, go. Sometimes we need to take a step back and have a break as well. So during training, there's sort of a few different aspects. So training new employees, so I'm sure your employer sort of sends you out to personal development sessions, different seminars to meet people, learn new skills, so that's great. I'd always encourage that for someone in a role like you as well, to go out and meet new people, do PD courses or seminars over the weekend as well, just to learn maybe new things that might help you in the meantime, so that's really good. Also training, sort of, it's important allowing, your employer allows you to have the holidays as well, so you might use the holidays just to socialise, to exercise, refresh, sort of regroup, or you could use that towards working hours, so attending different events, like I was saying, to help you as well. Effective communication methods should also be a part of the training that you give to your employees, so we sort of touched on that as well. Like anything in a business, it's a skill to be learned, and methods of communication will differ from company to company. So everyone's got their own ways and own sort of ideas of how communication looks like. But yeah, we try here, I guess, and for you from what I've heard, to try and sort of get everyone together in a good environment, nice and relaxed, and to work as a team as well. Perfect. Establishing the right tone, so maybe across your time, do you get sort of students ringing you that have different tones at all? Some you might find that are angry, some you might find that are happy, so you probably get a lot of that as well. And how do you sort of deal, say, with if an angry student calls you, how do you sort of go about it?
At first, I try to calm them down first.
Okay, yeah. And what sort of strategies would you use for that?
So I need to know what they want to do.
Perfect.
And I try my best to help them out.
Excellent, that's good, sort of to work with them and work around them. Yeah. So a few examples here to sort of deal with students and even clients as well. So to use clear and simple vocabulary to ensure that you get your point across. Sometimes if we use bigger words, more ambitious words, messages might not be clear to people, and people might be a bit lost. So I just advise to keep things as simple as you can when talking to people. Another one to probably be professional is to not be too jokey with people. So a lot of other companies, you might find they've been too jokey. They've made sort of smart remarks or comments, and that can push people away, that can make people upset. So we try and avoid that as well. Don't use slang, so don't like shorten words or abbreviate words as well. Try and say full and clear words as well, just to be on more of a professional side as well. And your message should be clear and informative as well. Try and incorporate maybe, if you're delivering things to a classroom or students on the phone, something that might be engaging, and for them to ask you questions as well. And when it's appropriate, I'd sort of recommend to incorporate, a joke here and there, or throw in a bit of your humour or something into it, just to make things more fun and engaging, but most importantly staying in that professional manner. And probably one thing as well, like all of us don't try and mumble or stutter your words. Try and say things clearly and loudly, so that comes across well as well. Perfect. The next one we'll probably touch on is encouragement and feedback. So making sure to your students or to your work peers, family, friends, giving constructive feedback where people can build and work on things. Encouragement, always telling them you're doing well, why they're doing well as well. People, I just find they might say, you know, you might mark an assessment and say, well done. That really doesn't give too much to a student. So it's more like, well done, because, you know, what did they do good? What did you find was really good, not just writing well done. Yeah, so make it, that's right, informative and instructive for them as well. Perfect. Another great way for effective communication is through forums. So this is great because it's a two-way street as well. For you, it's a chance to get across your passion for a project, for example, and create a really inclusive environment that allows your team to share in enthusiasm and dedication. For all sort of students, peers, it's a chance to participate in something that's an open discussion and raise points collectively. Yeah, so it's good to, you know, sit around a table, make it quite open. Everyone say what they're really thinking, what they want to get off their chest, and what they might find will improve the workplace maybe, or improve different systems that we're using. So a whole range of things as well. The next one is body language. So this one's quite important as well. So body language accounts for about 55% of meaning when communication face to face. So you probably found as well, you know, at times we don't need to say anything, but in the way we maybe do it or sort of present it, it could come across rude to some people. You know, I'm sure we've all done it. We've all maybe shown a bit too much body language at times that's maybe put off people, or even you've gotten from body language a positive vibe from it. So it can work both ways as well. I always say to people, like, body language, a handshake can tell a lot about a person. If it's like a firm handshake, that means they're confident. For example, if it's not as firm, they could be, you know, not confident, nervous or shy. Yeah, so there's some examples as well. Have I still got you? You're not lost with anything at all? It's all still clear? Yeah, perfect. Presentations as well. So yeah, if you're sort of presenting, maybe you might have a topic or a PD that you want to deliver to someone. So that might be, incorporating different visuals. So lots of photos, not just reading off pieces of paper or PowerPoints, making it engaging, creating photos, colours, flow charts, so different things you can get people's eyes to sort of catch on as well. Now, sort of, you know, the world we live in now, a lot of communication is done online. So do you sort of use a lot of online platforms at all?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. Which sort of ones do you use through work, you'd say? Any online platforms or systems that you use here?
Like email?
Yeah, email, that could be one. Any sort of other ones that you use? Do you sort of use things like maybe WhatsApp for student classes? Because I know a lot of the trainers here at Stirling use WhatsApp to sort of get students engaged in a group. Do you use any of that in your job role?
For now, at the moment, I'm just using email.
Email, okay.
Communicate to students.
Yeah, perfect. Things like maybe VetTrack as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's sort of another communication.
I sent out email through VetTrack.
Okay.
To the group of the students.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, and what do you sort of write on them sort of emails? Is it just like reminders for things?
Yeah, to remind them about the upcoming classes, or they send them out the confirmation email.
Okay.
When they enroll into the course.
Okay. Do you find VetTrack is an effective sort of platform?
Yeah, very effective.
Yeah.
You can send a lot of email at once.
Yeah, that's good. Makes it a lot easier. Perfect. Yeah, so like we were saying, you know, VetTrack, email, you've got WhatsApp. A lot of businesses now are on social media platforms. So Facebook is heavily used, Instagram is heavily used. Lots of sort of online webinars and seminars are run. Yeah, so different things that can bring communication into a different presentation and picture as well. Beautiful. So instant messaging as well. You know, so this could be another one if it's, if it's through a different sort of device, like we were saying, in this article, apps such as Slack can be invaluable in communicating quickly and easily with team members. Like I was saying before, WhatsApp can be another one. So there's a few different sort of group programs that you can use to get people to respond quickly as well. Perfect. And now for something sort of completely different. Sometimes you need to think a little outside the box to make your communication as effective as you can. So a few off-the-wall strategies might be, you might get weird looks and a few concern emails from your team. So for example, this could be someone could be harassing you all the time about, getting different paper sizes or something. So maybe you on the printer could be paper size A3 and A4 is stored underneath the printer. So that's just using a little visual aid, and that could save a lot of time instead of that person asking you every day, where's the paper, where's the A3, where's the A4. You can present a visual aid in the workplace, and that can have them knowing sort of where things are. So stuff like that. Also, instead of people, colleagues would come up to you and say all the time, I'm going on a holiday, you'd say, put it in a flow chart, send it to me via email so I can log it into a database. So it's rather than someone saying you have a holiday, that's not very sort of structured for a business to follow as well. So you want that organisation, and it could be through different visual aids as well. So they're sort of things that we've mostly covered. And the last thing I'd say is even acting it out. So things like, if you want to run sort of PDs or seminars for different companies, for students, getting all your colleagues together and brainstorming, what are we going to sort of touch in this session? What are our goals? Why do we want to help these students? So just brainstorming, coming out with ideas, and mapping out how things will be delivered as well. What communication strategies you might incorporate, so whether it's sort of face-to-face, like what we're doing now, whether it's online, through email, through different social media platforms, and just finding your target audience and what you think is most suited for your target audience as well. Beautiful. So I'll probably finish it up there with a few tips on effective communication. So I hope that's sort of valid and it helps you as well in the job role. If you'd like a copy, I can send this through to you as well to have on file. If any of maybe your work colleagues would like copies as well, I can send through that as well. Beautiful. Was there anything else you wanted me to touch on, or any other questions you have for me?
No, I think I got a lot of information for today. And thank you for your time.
Beautiful. All right. Thank you very much for that, V. Thank you.